Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Gridiron Bangahz. I'm Jacob, and as always, I'm joined here with Brayden and Bryson. How's it going, guys?
How's
That's
it?
it.
So we're about to look into these Week 10 matchups. So I guess we'll get right into it. Thursday night football, we got the Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears. I think me and Brayden, we had the Bears, right? And then
Yeah.
Bryson, you had the Panthers.
I did.
Yeah. Brayden, you want to take this one then?
Yeah, I can take this one. Not the prettiest Thursday night matchup. We all kind of want to see two teams that are struggling. Bears are at home, so I kind of have them a little bit as my favorites right now. I know Justin Fields might be is questionable. Who's limited today as of Wednesday at practice, I believe. Wednesday? Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. It was Tuesday limited today. Tuesday games on Thursday, so I don't know if he'll be prepared, but I still have Bagent kind of thought he looked decent last week. This is a lot easier matchup for him, and I think the Panthers are still trying to figure out a lot. Um, we thought Bryce Young made a stride forward 2 weeks ago, and then last week looked like he took 3 steps back. So I see problems just continuing for both teams, but I think the Bears just have a better roster around them that they get out with this victory barely, but definitely an ugly matchup.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I trust Badger with the Bears more than I do with the Panthers. But is this one of your throwaway games, Bryson, or do you have anything with
I mean, it
I
wasn't
would
a.
say
It's not a pick that I love. I just don't like the idea of picking the Bears, regardless of who they're up against, even though it's the Panthers. And I know obviously the Panthers are not a great team by all means, so this should definitely not be, a tough matchup for them. But again, it's just I don't like picking the Bears right now. I, you know, I know Badgen didn't have that horrible game, but I still don't think he's that great. And I think it's the same for both quarterbacks. Badgen has a good matchup against Panthers, and Young has a great matchup against the Bears. So yeah, I think the better quarterback will win this one. So,
oh yeah, that's definitely true. Honestly, like as far as betting wise, I'm staying away from this game. I just don't want anything to do with this because I don't feel confident at all in this. So
yeah.
moving on to the I didn't realize this is another Germany game. The Colts will be taking on the Patriots. I thought this was at Foxborough for a second.
Oh, nice.
I think this is the
Uh,
final international game.
I mean, well, they took away a game I'm not going to really miss. So last week's one was a game they took away from us. But yeah, so me and Braden have the Colts on this one. I guess I can dive into this one a bit. Yeah, taking the Colts just for sake of they're they can score. Didn't matter who they're going up against, and with Gardner Minshew at the helm, they're able to score. They're not obviously a juggernaut, but whether it's running the ball or just passing it, Shane Steichen has proven that he'll find ways to score with the talent that they got. So I think that's pretty much what it came down to. Not too confident in Mac Jones. I think the Colts defense can kind of contain him or just, keep that Patriots offense at bay. But this is a Germany game, so again, anything can happen. But I'll stick with the Colts on this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Patriots on this one. Just kind of a quick toss up one. Not really. I don't like the Patriots. I don't love the Colts either. I feel like this could definitely go either way. Um, just looking at the track record of the Patriots in international games, they do have a winning record in international games. So uh, I don't hate this pick, and I feel like this is a good game for just Belichick to game plan well, and Back Jones just needs to have won a decent game. He's kind of been flip flopping throughout the year, where really bad game, kind of a mediocre game, bad game, decent game. So hopefully this will just be one where he's half decent. And Ramondre Stevenson looked really good in the last one, so I think they'll look to utilize him a lot. And um, I don't like the Colts defense that much. I think they've been playing fairly well, but they've had quite a bit of high scoring games. So um, I think the Patriots just need to keep up with them in scoring, and I think they can. Belichick will find a way to get a win.
All right, no, I didn't know that about the Patriots having, I guess, a winning record internationally. So that's good to know. Maybe depending on how this game turns out, I'll keep that in mind for next time. But ooh, actually, I'll save I'll save your game for last. We'll save the Steelers game for last. We'll revisit that one. So let's move on to the Saints and Vikings. I'll throw it over to you, Brayden, since you and Bryson both have the Saints in this one.
Yeah. Hurts me to pick against the Vikings after seeing Joshua Dobbs and being a fan of him this whole year, but I've always said I like what the Saints have. Not the greatest teams, but I still think they're borderline playoff team with their division. Derek Carr is above average quarterback in my opinion. He's still getting used to that offensive scheme. Still plenty of weapons around him. They're starting to use Taysom Hill a lot more. It's running the ball, passing it to him, or him throwing the ball. They're starting to use him, which is just another wrinkle in that offense that defense have to take account for. And you still got Kamara, Olave, and Michael Thomas is surprisingly still healthy. So that offense just looks like they should be able to move the ball pretty consistently, and that defense has always been kind of their backbone. I mean, since Drew Brees left, their defense still is not the greatest, but I still believe is kind of their strength of their team. They're really gritty and they like to fight it out, and I kind of just see this one they can get out of. I don't like what the Vikings have, really, to be honest. I like Joshua Dobbs, but everything around it's not good. It's the same problems that Kirk Cousins had when he was healthy. So no line, not a great defense, and without Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison and Hawkinson are your only two real threats in my eyes.
Yeah, this was I don't know. I was indecisive on this one, but I think ultimately I stuck with the Vikings. I'm on the Josh Dobbs trains this year. Yes, well, Brayden mainly got me on the Josh Dobbs train. So they had a great win last week, just unexpectedly coming in. But I'm gonna stick with Josh Dobbs, our aerospace engineer. Stick with him, hoping he gets the victory. And I'm sorry, Isaiah, but I don't want to pick against Josh Dobbs as much as I can, even though there's going to be weeks. Yeah, obviously you're going to have to. So
Shout out to Josh Dobbs. Amazing season so far.
man he needs a chance at a starting job next year. I don't know where, but he needs a chance. But moving on to this might be the game of the week actually. Maybe this one or another one, but the Texans at the Bengals. Bryson has the Texans on this one, so I'll throw it over to him.
Yeah, I mean, I really wish I really want to take the Bengals. I definitely think there's a chance, the Bengals just clobber them. Obviously, I hope not. Obviously, I really like C.J. Stroud. We just watched him have a phenomenal game where he went nuclear, had that game-winning drive, and Texans are just on a roll right now, and I think they've got things figured out pretty well offensively. I know the defense is kind of questionable. On the other side, we know what the Bengals can do. Uh, I do think the Bengals defense is just one of those weird defenses where they tend to step up in really big games, but then are kind of quiet in matchups you wouldn't really expect them to be. So I feel like this is a good chance for the Texans to just kind of eat that defense alive, and their Texans offensive line has looked really well. I think they've been playing a lot better than what people have expected him to be. Because, you know, obviously Stroud's been able to play as well as he has because he's been protected fairly well. And yeah, I just like Shroud, and I want to bet on Shroud just because I like the guy and I like the kid. I think he's been playing great, and it just bodes well for football just to see him continue. So
You want to take this one, Brayden?
Do not
Why we
want
got
to talk up
the?
Joe Burrow. You can talk up your LSU boys. Go ahead.
All right. I was yeah, I was gonna take it. Then I was looking at the. I'll figure something out. Don't worry. But yeah. I mean, CJ Stroud, phenomenal game last week. You know, I had the Bucks last week, so I was really hoping they weren't gonna come back. But as far as just content wise and just what's great for the league, that was a great game and just great story from him. Just really developing uh, rapidly, I would say. But I'm gonna take the Bengals on this one. I'm hoping it's gonna be another high scoring game like we got. But Bengals are back to their old selves, playing great football right now. So I just gotta stick with Joe Burrow and the veteran team, I should say. So I got them in this one, but I expect it to be a pretty close game, especially from what we've seen from CJ Stroud. But moving on to the Tennessee Titans taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think me and Brayden got Buccaneers, so I'll throw this one at him.
You got Will Levis, the mailman himself. Tough matchup last week. I mean, just top defense he played. Still looked really good. I really liked the throws he was making. Didn't think he made too many mistakes last game besides that pick in the end zone, but you got to take your shots at the end of the game. You need a touchdown, so I don't blame him too much. Maybe could have went somewhere else, but still, I thought he had a great game. Still playing like my Steelers defense. Bucks had a really good game last week. Just unfortunately, they left them like 10 seconds too long for CJ Stroud. It could have gone different if they just milked it just slightly more, but I think they played phenomenal. Baker Mayfield was not the problem in that game, but like I've said, I don't see Baker as the most consistent quarterback, so I'm kind of gonna be saying I'm thinking there's gonna be a downtrend right for him this game, and I think the way Will Levis is playing, he'll keep it up and bounce back. And Derrick Henry's still looking a lot better when your team has a passing attack. So I'll take Titans this week.
I thought he was taking the Bucks. I don't know why.
Are you
Did
in
I
Titans?
switch up?
You switched up. Oh,
Yeah,
I
okay.
did switch up.
Yeah, you switched up.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I threw it to you
I know.
because
I was
I
like,
thought we had the same pick.
I was
And I
like,
forgot
Oh,
who I
okay.
took, and then I
I was
was
like,
just talking about it, and then I was
typing
like, I
up the
felt like the
Titans there.
Titans.
I was like, wait a
Oh, all
second.
right.
I was like, I thought this
Yeah,
Yeah,
was
you know what? I'll
last
stick with
I
it.
thought this was supposed to be a Bucks pick. You took mine. You
yeah
took mine.
last
Thought I was going to be the odd man out here.
exactly. I was like, huh? I was expecting
I
Bryson to defend Levis here. All right. I guess I'm defending the Bucks. Okay.
Interesting.
All
I
right.
don't
Yeah.
know. I was talking about it, and I for some reason was thinking I took the Titans, but I'll stick with the Titans. But,
All right.
Can't
Well,
change
remind me to
now.
change that later. Remind me to change that later,
yeah.
so I don't put you with the wrong pick. So,
That's funny.
uh, you have anything to add on that, Bryson? I was gonna throw it to you.
No,
Sorry, but
I mean, yeah, you pretty much covered it. I thought it was going to be like, oh, yeah, I don't want to pick the Titans, but I got it just because the Mayo Man. So, yeah,
I think that might
I'm
have been
betting
why I
on the
switched
Mayo
up.
Man. Yeah, I think he looked
all right.
great. I still think he looks good. Um, yeah, like you said, tough defense. Definitely, they could have won that game. Maybe gotten him a better look than what that play call was. I don't know if that was the first target or if that was just kind of he wanted to make a big play in a big moment and just kind of threw a dud. It wasn't a bad throw, just Alexander kind of had a beat on it, kind of saw it the whole way. You could see the intention was to kind of, get it over him, and it definitely could have been a 50-50 ball with the tight end. So I didn't hate that throw. And yeah, I still think he looks good.
All right. Yeah. So I'm the lone man taking the Bucks on this one. Again, last week understandable, I guess, since Bucks lost. So yeah, they just came up short last week. And like you said, Baker was not the problem. I don't expect him to put up those those phenomenal numbers again. I expect him, to progress a little bit, but not too bad. Not to the point where he's going to cost him the game. I'm pretty confident. I know after the Bucks just got torched last week by CJ Stroud, I'm pretty sure this is a bounce back game for that defense. Will Levis, I like Will Levis. Obviously, I think we all like CJ Stroud better, and I think he's further along than Will Levis. So I know they have DeAndre Hopkins and Derrick Henry, but I'm pretty confident that they'll find a way to uh, just contain them, not necessarily shut down. So yeah, I'm sticking with the Bucks, and I think Baker Mayfield will have another good day.
Still don't know why I switched up. Still going in my mind. Like, who am I? Whatever.
Well,
You can't
let
change
me
it
know
now.
before I.
I can't change
Yeah.
it now. I'm just trying to think why
After
I
that,
switched up.
the fact that you while talking about it, didn't realize who you picked and started going with the Titans.
Like what I saw from
You
Will
can't
Levis.
change it now.
No, I can't. I'm gonna believe in Will Levis. I
That's
think
too
he's the
funny.
better quarterback anyway. So
All right. That's fine. That was a pleasant surprise.
yeah, it was a surprise for me too.
But all right, moving on to AFC North Division game. We got the Cleveland Browns facing the Baltimore Ravens. So me and Brayden got the Ravens, but I'll throw this one to Bryson first. He's got the Browns.
Yeah, this one, like you said, division matchup. I think it's just going to be a gritty, hard fought game. And I think the Cleveland Browns, their defense has been very solid this year. Um, I think maybe the last few games were a little quieter, like just in terms of big defensive plays. Um, and I think Myles Garrett is just man on a mission this year, kind of a one man wrecking crew. Um, Definitely going to have a big game from him. Going to see him step up a lot. We got Deshaun Watson back. He had a pretty good game last week. And I think offensively, there's a little concerns. I know Watson has kind of been up and down, the injuries. And even when he was healthy playing, he wasn't playing his best football. But I think, he looked good last week. And Amari Cooper obviously had his phenomenal game, proving why, he's still an elite receiver. And yeah, I think they're just kind of rolling right now. And I like this division matchup as like a hard fought game. And I think that they're just gonna the Ravens have kind of been rolling lately and just steamrolling teams. And I don't think that's going to happen against this defense. And I think the fact that the Ravens, I think they look great. They look really good. Lamar is having another MVP season. And they got the young guys, Zay Flowers, kind of blossoming. And we know Mark Andrews is Mark Andrews. But I think the fact that they've just been steamrolling right now, I'm not saying it's going to just come crashing down and just, start looking really bad, but I feel like this is just one of those games that they might, because they've been rolling, it's going to have to stop it, kind of quiet, cool down, cool off for a little bit at some point, and I feel like this is that game.
I totally agree with you. This is going to be an ugly game. That 6 point spread that they're getting, I don't. No, I'm not taking that. Like, I feel like this is going to be like a field goal game. Well, I think for me, what it comes down to is which quarterback I trust right now. Obviously, Deshaun Watson looks like he's healthier. Probably not 100%, but he looks like he's healthier. Able to just really sling the ball. Maybe not all the way downfield, but he's able to sling it. So but in the end, I trust Lamar right now over Deshaun Watson. I think Cleveland's defense is better. They definitely have more playmakers, more stars, probably more well-known names. While the Ravens, they have probably a lot of some veteran and just maybe guys we're not familiar with. Definitely like their back end linebackers and back are what they're known for. Like their front isn't really filled with like superstars. I know we got Jadeveon Clowney, but he's not a superstar, right? So, but regardless of that, that defense is finding ways to just keep teams out of the end zone. I know we just put up a post about their defense being really dominant,
Yeah, you jinxed
and
it.
I feel like I jinxed it. I did. So would it shock me if the Ravens lose? No, but I'm gonna stick with it. Like I said, I'm sticking with the better quarterback.
I'd be happy to be wrong on this. Let's go Browns, but I have the Ravens winning.
I'm sure you're cheering for the Ravens, even though wait, do they have the same record? Oh no,
Who?
the Browns and the Ravens. Do they have the same record or okay?
No.
The
Ravens have
Bengals, the
one more.
Steelers, and the Browns all have the same record.
Okay, that's what I'm getting confused. But all right, moving on to our next game. We got the 49ers visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll throw this one over to you, Braden.
Yeah. Me and Jake got the Niners in this one. I mean, yeah, they've kind of went on the 3-game skid before their bye week, but coming out the bye week, I think getting a lot healthier gave them time to kind of bring Chase Young into the system, kind of learn his role and be implemented this week. So I'm kind of excited to see what that's going to look like on defense. Yeah, their defense is still top of the league. They had some tough matchups. Just unfortunate plays just cost them a few games, either missed field goal or just Brock Purdy not playing good. But we also Brock Purdy farming, so maybe got his mind ready for this game to end the season. But I like what the Jaguars been doing. Travis Etienne has been on kind of a tear this season, looking like one of the best running backs in the league. But tough matchup going against this Niners defense, and I mean, yeah, I'm betting on the team that's coming off a bye week, and Kyle Shanahan's gonna have that team ready to go to finish the season strong because they need to win some games to get back in that race with the Eagles for the number one seed.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be taking the Jaguars here. For a few reasons. One, just because I would love to see the Niners lose 4 in a row. Um, just would be amazing to see. I do think it's going to be a close one. I think it'll be a good matchup. I think this is the game that the Jaguars really need to kind of be to prove that they're, you know, not necessarily contenders, but because I definitely think they're more of a sleeper pick right now. But this is just a game that like they definitely have something to prove in this one to show that they can beat an elite defense uh, and contend with an elite team. Because I would I could imagine this even being a Super Bowl matchup. Definitely as a potential one, not like a lock in as like these are for sure the Super Bowl picks this year, but I could see it as a potential Super Bowl matchup. So I feel like the Jaguars need to treat this game as such that this is just to prove to the league that we're in the conversation. And yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one. I definitely think I'd much rather pick the Niners in terms of you know better odds of winning, but I just hopefully I'll be speaking this loss into existence for them with this. So
I'm with you. I hope Jaguars pull it off. The more Niners lose, the more it makes me happy too.
yeah,
But
so just to kind of be that, like, if we all unanimously took the Niners, there's no hope, at least amongst us. But if I throw the Jaguars out there, they're like, then you kind of are like, I want Bryson to be right. So, well, except for this
No,
game,
not with you guys this week. I need the Jaguars to lose. So
whatever.
Hater.
You know you want the
Dougie P.
Niners to lose deep down in your
I usually do, but not this one. Not
deep
against an
down
AFC team.
in your deepest downs. You want them to lose.
And the Jaguars loss is a little bit more fresher than the 49ers loss, so I'm gonna cheer for the Niners.
Oh my.
So
It is what it is. This conference, I mean, but all right, we can move on to the. This should be a good game for this next slate of games on Sunday. Detroit Lions facing the LA Chargers. I think me and Brayden got the Lions in this one, so
Nope.
I can
This is
take
the
that
one
one.
unanimous.
Oh no! Oh, it is. You're right. It is. You're right.
He's a Lions fan.
Sorry.
You can't bet against them.
For some reason, okay, I was thinking he took the charge for a second, but all right, good. I feel a lot better now that we all got this one. So, yeah, Lions. I think. I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't really watch the Monday game, but the Chargers, and the Jets. But I think just the outcome of it didn't really look that great for the Chargers. Maybe that's because the Jets' defense that's just been really good this year. But I don't know. Chargers, obviously, they're talented, but I don't know what it is about them, but I just can't really. I don't know. I don't have the right word, or I can't put my finger on it. But there's just something with the Chargers that I can't jump on that train. But Lions, obviously, I don't think I have to say much more than that. They're just one of the better teams this year. I think they can run, they can throw it, and they're just more physical than mostly than all the teams that they're playing. Almost every team that they're playing. The Chargers defense is a little bit more suspect. They've been having better games recently, but I think that's more due to the quarterbacks that they've been facing. So I think this is another game where that Detroit front will really get after Justin Herbert, and I can see them winning double digits. Maybe not like a full-on blowout like the Lions have been just doing these several weeks, but I could definitely just see them throwing a punch and Chargers not really being able to answer back. You guys got anything on this matchup?
No, pretty much covered it.
All right, we can move on to another. This is another game I was indecisive about, but we'll get right into it then. The Atlanta Falcons taking on the Arizona Cardinals. And from the report that we got today and yesterday, Kyler Murray looks to be healthy and is scheduled to play. So, forgot who has who in this one. Oh no, me and Brayden got the Falcons. So, I guess I'll throw it over to Brayden on this one.
Yeah, not that excited about this matchup. Out of the birds. Like I said, every week when Falcons have kind of a bad opponent, I'm just gonna be betting on the offensive playmakers just to make enough plays. Arthur Smith kind of holds them back, but I still think they get enough done. I like Tyler Hennick. Tyler Hennick? Taylor? I'm a blank here. Heineke. I like him. He did go with Washington. I thought he's good enough backup. I kind of honestly think he might be better than Ritter. I mean, Ritter's still young. Heineke's a little bit more experience, and yeah, I'm just betting on that offense. The defense has a few pieces. Like I've always said, AJ Terrell's a great corner. But kind of just betting against the Cardinals. Yeah, Kyler's coming back. Um, not in the best situation. Your only weapon really is Marquise Brown. I don't think he's really ever showed to me that he's a true number one receiver, so he doesn't really have a big target, especially with Zach Ertz out and James Conner still missing games, and Cardinals defense kind of just getting rid of pieces. They're not the best defense in the league. Not close, probably bottom 5, and I don't see the Cardinals really wanting to win games, so I just don't feel confident betting against them or betting with them. And yeah, I think Falcons win this one, but another not pretty game, I think.
Yeah, I will be taking the Cardinals on this one. A few reasons, in no particular order. I saw something coming out of the Falcons camp. The Arthur Smith shaved his mustache, and that there needs to be some change around here. Like, just I don't know, something stupid and cringe. And for that reason, I just feel like just because he did that, they're gonna get clobbered because they're like he's so cringe, and I just feel like this is the type of story you're like, because he did that, now they're gonna get just dumpstered on. The Cardinals, I don't understand the Kyler Murray start. To me, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, coming into this year, this was like a team that was like the assumption was they were tanking. I don't think anyone coming into the year thought they were going to be playing as. I mean, they haven't been getting the wins, but they've been playing harder than a tanking team should be playing. So right now, they're just so much confusion coming from the Cardinals because they trade away Dobbs. Obviously, you know, in the sense of, did they really need him? Because I thought it was more of a move that, yeah, we tried, we played, we've been playing hard and physical. The wins haven't been there, so let's just move on from Dobbs. No point in keeping a quarterback in a tank year, which, yeah, we tried to not tank, but now we really look like we're going to have to tank because it just hasn't been working. But then now they're trying to start Kyler Murray as if, they look like they want to win games. Why else play Kyler except to try to win games? Because at this point, if the tank is a legit tank, you just play tune. And no point in throwing Kyler Murray back into a losing season. I personally thought he wasn't going to play another down this year, and he wasn't going to play for the Cardinals ever again. I thought they were going to move on from him, look for a QB in the draft. But I still think they do that. I don't know. I don't know what the thoughts are on Kyler Murray. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I feel like just because he's coming back and the whole Arthur Smith thing, and yeah, I don't like the Falcons right now. I think this is just going to be a weird game, and somehow the Cardinals are going to find a way to win it. And just continue to be the weirdest team right now in terms of, do they want to win? Do they want to lose? They need to just make up their minds. It's getting irritating because it's like coming into the year, oh, they're tanking. Wait a minute, they're not tanking. Oh, they get rid of Dobbs. Okay, they're going back to tanking. Oh, wait, Kyler's starting. Are they tanking? And then if they lose this one, then it's like, okay, they're tanking. So I don't know. It's just.
I still feel like they're tanking. I feel like
I feel like they are, but I don't get the Kyler start. Like
you got to play him because I think it's too hard to trade him in the off season when you don't see him for a whole year and he's not like a Deshaun Watson before he left.
Well, there's that, but there's also the fact he might want to play himself. It's like you can't sit him if he's like you think he's healthy. I mean,
not yours,
maybe
Jake, what Brayden said. I mean, I get it.
They're going to be down.
I get
they're
going to
be down in every
but
game.
I feel like he's a starting quarterback. Like he's going to start somewhere, like regardless of the tape or not.
Agreed. But what you're going to get, and what his contract's not great. So you're hoping that you don't have to give up things to get rid of him, rather than take a second day pick, maybe a late second day pick, and get rid of him. That's the difference.
What I feel like is playing him could backfire because the tape is just going to look really bad for the rest of the year.
But I still think it's better than not having tape from a guy who just is above average, I guess you would say he was before last year or before this year, and then not playing a whole year was just it's questionable. And what would you give up, and why would you really invest in a guy like that to be your starter?
I mean,
Hasn't
I don't
shown
think
there's some
much.
teams out there. There's going to be some team out there that needs a starter, regardless of whether or not he's got the tape.
I don't think the Cardinals have to give up a draft pick, a day 2 draft pick. It's not a Daniel Jones situation. Like, he's shown that he's definitely a lot better than Daniel Jones.
But I don't
Yes,
think
he
he's shown
hasn't.
he's worth his money.
That is true, but he's at least shown that he's better than Daniel Jones. Yes, he doesn't have the playoff win. I get that, but I think regardless, like, he's still shown that he can play. He's a good player, good quarterback. So
I don't know. To me, I feel like it could backfire, and the tape's just going to look really bad for the rest of the year.
I I like Tyler.
And then they get less out of him.
I just don't think he's worth the money, and I don't see why
I
you
mean,
would
yeah, I
trade for
agree with
him
that.
on
I
that
don't think he
contract.
is, but I don't know.
But that's the whole thing. Like,
To me, it
if he
doesn't
was
make
for a
sense.
cheaper contract, I think you didn't need to play him. You could just sell him out because it's not a big team for risk for a team. But when you give him the contract he's got, you're limited on what you can do around him. And he's not that kind of guy who's going to make your team that much better that you can afford
no.
to be less around you.
I mean, to me, it's like if you're starting him, obviously your chances of winning go up as opposed to tune. So it's like, are you like, why risk the draft picks for like at that point, just take the losses that you're likely going to get with tune. I don't know.
Because I think you trade him and you trade to the number one pick. Because I mean, the other team that's in contention is the Carolina Panthers, and I can't see them. They're not taking Caleb.
They
I think
have
you
the
would get more. Huh?
Panthers. They have the Panthers pick, right? The
Oh yeah,
Cardinals?
Panthers
I
got
think the
it.
Cardinals have the first pick.
Or do they have the Bears pick? I can't
I
remember.
think that.
No,
I don't know.
They
I
have the
think right now
Bears.
it's looking like Cardinals 1, Bears 2, 3.
the Cardinals have the Cardinals have the Panthers pick. I'm sorry, that's what it was.
Okay, well there you go. And then they would have picks 3 or 4, which is their pick. Then
I mean, obviously, I think that the front office would want to keep him out. Like, yes, they're gonna want to tank, like, secure first pick, first 2 picks, whatever it is. But I don't think they can realistically just keep him out, especially if he's healthy, he's ready to go, he wants to play. I don't think they have a legitimate excuse or reason. I think that would blow up in their face if they just benched him or just kept him out as an inactive for the rest of the season. I don't think that was it. I don't think that was possible. I think that their best hope was to just keep him out as long as they possibly could. So I think that's what their plan was.
I don't know. To me, I don't think he should play, but it's whatever.
Well, I think we're all in agreement that he'll be on a new team next year, though.
Yeah, I think, pretty sure. I'd be surprised if he wasn't.
so
Yeah, I see. What team? We'll find out soon. As soon as the season's done, we'll probably find out a lot sooner. But we can move on to the next game that we got. The Washington Commanders taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Trying to. Okay, wait. Is this everybody took Seattle? No. Dude. All right. Throw it to you, Bryson. Oh, yeah, throw it to you with the Washington Commanders pick.
Yeah, I think right now the Seahawks are. I think Geno Smith has just been kind of slowly falling off. I definitely think he's very far off from last year and what he did last year. And I don't know, he's just kind of having I don't think it's a dud season, but it just has not been up to expectations. Um, yeah, the Seahawks are just, I don't know, they're kind of in that weird spot right now where I feel like in tough matchups, I don't think this is a tough matchup per se, but just for the rest of the season, I don't think they really put up much fight against other elite teams. Um, I just don't like Gino right now. I think he's really the most questionable one on that team. I do like the rest of the young guys in the receiver core, and Kenneth Walker has been really great. The defense has been okay. I know they got Williams picked up from the Giants. Obviously, Devin Witherspoon looks really good. But I feel like this is just a game that Sam Howell is going to play well. He's been playing pretty decent most of the year. Has only really had one really bad game, and we've seen him, play pretty well against good defenses. And I don't think the Seahawks defense is as good as some of the other games that he's played, you know, well in against those teams. So I definitely think this is a chance for him to have a big game. It's not really, I don't know, it's not a division matchup, but I just feel like this is like one of those, you know, there's a history. Commanders and Seahawks. I feel like this is just going to be a good matchup, good game, close fought, and I think the Commanders will finally get the one of the close games that they finally will come out on top instead of losing in tough crunch time moments. I think this one will finally get away with the win.
Battle of Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love for this to be like an upset game. As long as it ain't my team, I'm okay with upsets. But yeah, I think Seattle for this one. Obviously they got shut out last year. I mean, not shut out's probably not the right word. It put some points up on the board, but they just really they couldn't get anything going. That Ravens defense really just smothered them. So I see this as a bounce back game for them. I think like you said, the way Gino's been playing, it's not terrible, but it's not great like last year how he was playing. So I can definitely see this being a lot closer than most people would expect. So, but I definitely see Gino having a bounce back game, not lighting up the scoreboard or anything, but just having a consistent game. So I'm sticking with them, better team, and I gotta see the better quarterback right now. I do know that. Or I've seen a lot of Seattle fans are pounding the table for Drew Lock to come in. I don't understand that, but I see it. I'm just don't get it, but yeah.
He's got the swag, that's why. I want to see Drew Lock on Sundays again. That's all I want. I don't even like him as a quarterback. I just love the swag he plays with. I gotta admit that.
If he's he's gotta play good, all right. Like there's a reason why Josh Dobbs. We love Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs is pretty good. Drew Lock's not.
Yeah. But Josh Dobbs doesn't have the swag of Drew Lock. Drew Lock is just, man, I would be amped if I was on his team. Until you threw like 3 picks, and then I would be pissed. But until he does that, I would be excited.
Oh my. All right, yeah, sure. I'm sticking with Gino. You already know I'm behind Gino all the way. You already know that. Never let it down slip. So you know. But anyways, let's move on to the NFC East showdown. The Giants taking on the Cowboys. We got Danny DeVito versus Dak Prescott. So I think we're all. Is this an unanimous one? Unanimous? Unanimous.
It was.
All right. I'll throw this over to you, Brayden.
Yeah. I don't think there's much to be said. Giants just kind of look like one of the worst teams in the league. Just very struggling on offense. I don't think Tyrod Taylor's back, and I think they've looked the best under Tyrod, and it wasn't even amazing. They just put up more than 10 points. They put up double digits with Tyrod consistently. I think that was the only thing. Defense have some good games. Kind of had doesn't. I like their coach. I like Brian Dable. I've said that all year, but just doesn't look good. And Cowboys, I mean, even though they coming off a loss to the Eagles, I thought they really played really well. Their offense is finally starting to click. The red zone offense was kind of their problem. Said it all game, but they're definitely scoring in the red zone converting a lot of them. And I mean, Dallas is top 3, top 4 team in the NFC. So I, it's 16-point favorite. So kind of an obvious one.
Yeah, I don't have much to say on this one, honestly. So we can move on to the Sunday night game of the week. New York Jets taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. I think me and Brayden have the Jets. Bryson has the Raiders. So I guess I'll start off with the Jets in this one. So I mean, for me, it came down. Actually, I can't even say it came down to the quarterbacks because that'd be a lie. I don't I don't feel confident at a quarterback. Zach Wilson, I feel like he's getting a little bit too much praise. He's just not making, I don't know. He's not making plays, but he ain't making mistakes. So he's not really doing much, in my opinion. And then we got rookie Aiden O'Connell, who played good last week, but against this Jets defense, I think that's where I'm drawing the line here, where the Jets are taking this. Jets defense facing off against a rookie quarterback, I'm taking that one. So that's pretty much where it comes down to, relying on uh, Brees Hall to just run and then getting Garrett Wilson involved. I think that should be enough to get a win over the Raiders, in my opinion. But I do like that they look a lot more rejuvenated, playing with some fire under Alec Pierce. Maybe it was just one game, but we'll see in the second game for him. But yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with the Jets. What do you think, Bryson?
Yeah, I do like the Jets more in this one, but like you said, kind of don't really like Zach Wilson. Uh, I don't like the QB matchup of O'Connell against this defense, but I just, I don't know. I think with, like you said, with the new coaching and kind of seem to have changed the culture there, I definitely think this is a chance to kind of be a statement game that, it wasn't just a one time, you know, luck of the draw first game fluke. Uh, and I think, yeah, I don't know, it's going to be a weird game. It's just going to depend on how well or how not bad O'Connell plays. Because if he just, gives a bunch of turnovers to the Jets, yeah, they have no chance of winning. So I don't like having to bet on O'Connell, but I don't want to bet on Zach Wilson either. So, and I definitely think Max Crosby is having a pretty phenomenal year, and I think he'll probably get to Zach Wilson a few times.
Yeah, I feel like probably gonna be could definitely see an ugly game. The spread is 1.5, so 1.5.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I think that tells you how this game might play out. But yeah, we'll move on to two more games left. So the Monday night game before we circle back to our last game. Denver Broncos facing the Buffalo Bills. I think Brayden and I have the Bills, so I'll throw that over to Brayden, our number one Josh Allen fan.
Yeah. Still riding the Josh Allen train. I mean, I don't think he's having definitely not his best season. I don't think it's that awful. I mean, some tough losses on there, but I think he's had his moments. I think this is a bounce back. I mean, I didn't think he played that bad against Cincinnati. Just Cincinnati's a good team, and offensively, they're kind of just were better, and just unfortunate fumble. But yeah, not a fan of the Broncos still. I mean, they look like they're kind of getting it together, looking a lot better since that 70-point blowout. But yeah, I just offensively they still kind of struggle. I think the Bills are just good enough defensively that where they could cause some problems for the Broncos, and Broncos defense I don't think can contain Josh Allen and Diggs and their say James Cook, and hopefully they get Gabe Davis involved in this one because I think they look a lot better when he's involved in the offense, at least getting some targets, getting some catches, and Dalton Kincaid continues to grow as a rookie, so I think their offense is still figuring out things, especially with the loss of Dawson Knox. But I think they're heading in the right direction, and I mean, they definitely need to turn things around soon. So I got them over the Broncos.
I am going to be taking the Broncos in this one. I'm gonna disagree with Brayden on the Josh Allen. I think it has been an awful year, at least for Josh Allen. Any other quarterback, it probably would be, we'd be saying that these are decent numbers. But it's Josh Allen we're talking about. I definitely think he's the type of player that this is not how he should be playing, and I think I don't know. I personally think it's very concerning, and he might just be proving that he's really not that guy. And I think it's just going to be a downhill trend for the rest of the year. I really don't see them. I honestly can't see them being that relevant in the playoffs. If I'm being honest with you, I just don't think Josh Allen has been playing up to par. We know. I mean, the rest of the offense, I do like. Obviously we know Diggs is a top receiver. Kincaid, like you said, has kind of been definitely developing very well. James Cook also looks pretty good. And yeah, I don't know. The Bills are just kind of a weird team right now. Like you said, Gabe Davis was kind of non-existent. Not kind of, was literally non-existent last game. And they do look better with Davis involved. But it's just, I feel like it's just way too inconsistent. Like, they don't. He has, a big game, and then he has a dud. And then he has a big game, and then he has a dud. And then he has 2 duds and then 1 big game. I don't know. It's just there's no consistency, and the defense is in shambles right now. And I definitely think this is a great opportunity for the Broncos to have another big game against what should be an elite quarterback. We know they beat the Chiefs. Yes, granted, Mahomes was kind of not 100%, but Broncos still played well. And I definitely think this is a game that the Broncos have the opportunity to upset, at least in terms of, I don't think I definitely think the odds are in the Bills' favor. So I feel like this is definitely an upset game. And yeah, I just don't like Josh Allen right now. It's just been, in my opinion, it's been bad. I mean,
Sleep.
if you put his numbers on someone, a different name, it probably wouldn't be that, we wouldn't be talking about it that much. But because it's Josh Allen, it's the same as it's what we would expect from Mahomes. It's what we would expect from, Jalen Hurts. So I think the fact that the name Josh Allen is because it's him, it's just I don't think it's acceptable the way he's been playing. I think it's been really bad. The decision making, just the offensive situational awareness, I think has been really bad this year.
We don't need to get into this debate now.
All right.
That's
We
all
can
I'm
say
gonna
it for another day. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. But right now, the way I'm looking at it, I'm very concerned. If I'm a Bills
Right now,
fan,
I just want to say,
I'm
right
concerned.
now, he only has one more pick than Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes
I mean,
on the season, and more touchdowns.
I'm not saying the stats are bad, but
I get it. Yeah, no, I get it. But
I think that,
like we've always said,
if you watch the tape, just the situational awareness is really bad this year for him. Just the decision making in crucial moments has been really bad for him.
Let's move on. I can fight this all day.
All right. Broncos country, let's ride.
I don't like having to bet on the Broncos. If it was any other team, I probably wouldn't be. But because it's the Broncos, I just feel like this is definitely a good upset opportunity.
All right. Well, we'll move on to I think another game that you guys will be able to go back and forth on. Going to Brayden Steelers. Green Bay Packers will be visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'll throw it over, obviously, to you, Brayden.
Obviously, just like every week so far this season, I have the Steelers again. I think this is one of our better matchups of the year. Packers haven't been showing too much on offense. Their defense has been playing decently well. Nothing fantastic, nothing out of this world. They don't have many wins on the season. And my team just figures out a way to win every single week almost, it seems like, even when it doesn't look good. Like I said, their defense doesn't look great. I felt like our offense is continuing to take small steps forward. Kenny's still got to play better, in my opinion, but I think it's getting there. Love to see George Pickens more involved, but I know with the Titans, we're kind of just doubling him the whole game, so kind of hard to throw to him at that point. But Deontay Johnson still on the other side and was eating. Thought he had an amazing day against the Titans, and this is about the time that Najee starts getting going. I know he's not a first half of the season running back, to be honest, and second half he's that bruiser. So when things get colder, when players get tired, more banged up, consecutive weeks just keep going. This is when Najee kind of sticks out, starts to have those better runs where he's just running down the middle, puts his head down, can get those 5 to 6 yards, keep the chains moving. And we saw what Jalen Warren's been like this whole year. It's just been amazing every time he touches the ball. Just plays with so much energy. And even on the defense side, Joey Porter Jr. is still looking really great. Little handsy, but has kind of gotten away with it for most of the season. So he's been playing it off really well. And TJ Watt still defensive player of the year in my opinion. And Smith is showing why we paid him, and it's just been having a day on the opposite side of TJ. Last week had 2 sacks. Stat line looked better than TJ's. So if one of them's not going off, it's the other one. And yeah, bringing back Cam Hayward is just another plus for that kind of front that we've been struggling against the run. Looked a lot better. Derrick Henry didn't really kill us as much as I thought he was going to be, but yeah, just kind of waiting for Minka to come back. It's our biggest hole right now, but against the Packers, I don't see that killing us too much. Tomlin finds a way to win another one. And we actually might out yard them this game. This might be the first game we can actually have more yards than our opponent. But I won't say that too soon because they might still yardage us. We'll still win.
Yeah, not much debate as you think there's going to be, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
This one's kind of just this out of spite pick. You know, I don't like the Packers by all means at all. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're, you know, I'm not picking them because I think they're the better team. That's for sure. I definitely kind of don't like. It's partly. So I really like George Pickens up until last week. Um, After watching him kind of act like a crybaby and whining that he didn't really get the ball, and there's that picture of him kind of walking to the sideline while everyone's celebrating with Deontay. After what was it? How many games or how many receptions without a touchdown? I forgot what it was,
I
but
think
the stat.
since 2020,
Oh,
since 2021.
Yeah,
He scored a
basically
touchdown, I
it's been
believe.
2 years since he's had a touchdown, and finally gets one. And Pickens just kind of was whining that essentially was upset that it wasn't him. Couldn't even go celebrate with his teammate for getting his first touchdown in 2 years. So that kind of put me off of George Pickens after that. And I don't know. There was one other thing, but I'm like drawing a blank on it now. What was
I'll
it?
just add that Antonio Brown did some problems to
Oh.
me because I love the toxicity. Even though they're toxic, I still love them. I can't get over them. I
I
still
mean,
love
obviously, I
Pickens.
like him as like a skill player, but yeah, I don't like Pickens anymore.
I just love toxic
Um,
receivers.
Also, I don't necessarily agree with the Najee assessment. I don't think it's. I don't think he's gonna have a good
He's already
second
looking
half.
better.
Uh,
But yeah,
I personally think like I'm not gonna like the Steelers until Jalen Warren starts. Um, I I like him more than Najee at this point, honestly. Regardless of whether or not the second half improves for him, Warren has just consistently been better. So, to me, I think Warren should be starting. And yeah, this is kind of just a spite pick. Don't really
You
don't
can
like it,
switch, you know.
but no, I'm gonna stick with it.
like I said, ever since a certain week
I would
happened,
just love to be right.
the viewpoint changed.
Oh my.
Well, honestly, what happened was I got rid of my investment in Kenny Pickett, so I have no
Attachment.
real like financial attachment to the Steelers anymore. So
Just happens to be after the Rams game.
can't help the timing.